Before this moment, there was light, but no clock, illumination without schedule, radiance without rhythm. Creation was bright, but it didn't yet know when. And then the Holy One speaks again. Let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to divide day from night, to be signs for seasons, for days, and for years. Not just light, but measured light. Not just brightness, but order. This is the first time creation is given orientation, a way to mark change, a way to anticipate return, a way to remember that nothing stays fixed forever. The sun rises, and suddenly there is day. The moon appears, and suddenly there is night. And between them, time begins to move. The Zohar tells us something astonishing here. It says that in the beginning, the two great lights were equal. The sun and the moon, both radiant, both whole, both crowned. And then the moon speaks. Can two kings wear one crown? This is not arrogance, it's awareness. It's the first moment creation recognizes that sameness cannot sustain relationship. And God replies, go and diminish yourself. This is where many people mishear the story. They hear punishment, loss, demotion. But the Zohar hears something else, purpose. Because the moon's diminishment creates movement, waxing, waning, disappearance, return. Without this, there would be no months, no seasons, no cycles of renewal, no growing dark that teaches us how to wait. The sun becomes steady light, unchanging, reliable, constant, and the moon becomes reflective light, shifting, emotional, responsive. One rules the day, the other rules the night. Not superior and inferior, but different kinds of leadership. The sun teaches us how to be present. The moon teaches us how to become. And notice this, even when the moon is dark, it has not disappeared. It's still there, moving faithfully through its path, preparing to return. The Zohar says the stars were created to console the moon. Think about that. Even the heavens respond to vulnerability with companionship. Time itself is born here. Days, years, seasons. Not as a prison, but as a song. A rhythm that tells the soul, you will not always feel full. You will not always feel clear. You will not always feel radiant. And that doesn't mean something is wrong. It means you're alive. This is the first sacred permission to be cyclical, to change, to dim, to return. Modern language calls this regulation. Biology calls it circadian rhythm. Psychology sees it in mood, memory, and meaning. But the Zohar names it much earlier, balance through alternation. Light divided from darkness, not to declare war, but to teach discernment. And God sees this order, this choreography of time, and calls it good. Evening comes, morning follows, the fourth day. So what does this ask of us? It asks us to stop demanding constant brightness from ourselves, to stop confusing wholeness with unbroken visibility. You're allowed to be solar sometimes, clear, directive, outward, and lunar at others, quiet, inward, reflective. Your phases are not failures. They're measurements of time passing through you. Every shadow is proof that life exists somewhere else in the system. Every night is already leaning toward dawn. To live by divine rhythm is not to control time, but to listen to it and let it sing you back to yourself. There is evening, there is morning, a fourth day.